this shit in order. Okay. Alright. What is up, you guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my Lightsworn deck profile for the April 2014 format. And I don't have all the cards I want yet because they haven't been released, like Lightsworn Raiden, Felice, Minerva, and Michael. And when those cards come out, this deck will truly be good, but still a decent deck, I guess, for the time being. So let's get started. First off, we got Trip JD. To be honest, sometimes I only even run 2 JD, at least on like the Dueling Network and DevPro and stuff like that, because all those cards I just talked about are out, and the deck has so many more options that you can search JD out so easily with Eclipse Wyvern anyway, and Minerva can add Eclipse Wyvern even if you don't mill it. So, and technically Minerva can just search JD, but that rarely ever happens. But for now, obviously Trip JD, he's the best card in the deck pretty much. He's the win condition of the deck. You special summon JD, you pay 1,000 life points and you win. Like, it's so stupid that you can do it multiple times per turn, because it's like, oh, you're playing Mermails, oh, you got Abyssland, oh, you got Abyss Sphere. When I destroy your shit, you get better shit coming out. I'll pay my 1,000 life points again and get rid of that second wave of monsters that you get out with your traps, or anything possible that you can possibly do. Or if you're facing Noble Knights, It's like you pay 1,000 life points to destroy all of their equip spells and the knight, but since Noble Armor Destiny, which of course they're always going to have equipped because it's like the best one, protects their boss monster or any of their monsters, but I'm talking about like if they have a perfect field, you summon JD, it destroys all of their equip spells, all of them except for Excalibur come back once per turn anyway, so you just blow them up again a second time for another 1,000 life points, and then the monster still won't be destroyed since Destiny's effect reset and it got prevented from destruction twice, but you can either pay 1,000 again or just attack over him. And like at that point, the Noble Knight player basically has nothing. Unless they have like Madrout and a Noble Arm in hand and they haven't gone through all their wars. But like, that's not really gonna help either. But anyway, JD, most broken card in game. Moving on. Let's see. I'm gonna edit this video later so I can go in any order I want. Maybe I'll go in order of like how useful I think the card is in the deck. And by that standard, Gorz. Gorz is so good because you run basically no traps at all unless you run like, well, arguably you could just like run Solemn Warning or Bottomless Trap Hole and that would probably be worth the mill risk. And, what was I talking about? I'm fucking high, dog. Alright, start over on this card. Gorz. Like, you have, like, no back row in this deck. So, a lot of the time when they break through, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat them down now. And then you drop Gorz. Some decks even have, like, problems dealing with Gorz by himself because it's 2,700 attack, like, for free, like, if they get you, like, turn 1 or something like that. But, also the token is always, well, you should drop it on the strongest monster's attack unless they fucking have it. You should always, drop Gorz. Actually, no matter... Oh, yeah, you should always drop Gorz on... You should drop Gorz... I'm gonna edit this part out. I'm gonna edit this shit out. Okay. You want to drop Gorz on their highest monster's attack if you can survive, because then otherwise they're just gonna destroy Gorz and or the token anyway, especially if they have BLS, they can attack twice. Oh, I should actually... BLS is probably better than Gorz in the deck, to be honest. They're, like, tied for first after... Arguably ahead of JD, but Raiden is actually number 1 in the deck, but he doesn't exist yet. So. Anyway, you drop Gorz, and this is what you do the next turn. You drop an Unknown Synchron or an Effect Veiler, Vylon Prism, Lightsworn Minerva, Lightsworn Raiden, and you sync with the token. This makes Beals. So that's a really good play. Effect Veiler brings out like any of the other of your level 8s, and this is a game over for a lot of decks. I guess not like the meta decks, but Mermails has a problem with it. Like they can Big Eye it, maybe probably 101 it, but okay, so I guess Mermail doesn't really have a problem with it. But I mean, you can't always make Big Eye. Like most people only run one. So maybe if they have used their big eye, or I don't know, you're pretty much fucked at that point. No, but like once, if this deck is like you survive 3 turns and you win, like once your graveyard gets set up, you can just special summon, special summon, special summon. And like it doesn't matter how many answers they have. Like even if they have Solemn Mourning, Bottomless Trap Hole, like a Fiendish Chain, a Black Horn of Heaven, like I already named 4 traps, a 5th trap maybe like let's see, not Mirror Force. Mirror Force is actually a problem for this deck, because you like some like mass removal, like you're overextend basically in this deck. But thankfully, not a lot of people run Mirror Force anymore. But let's see, like say they set 5 like amazing traps like that, like you can usually summon like, if your graveyard set up like 8 boss monsters if you want, so you can always like push through for game. And usually you make Stardust Spark, so you got pretty good protection. And that's why Gorz is so good, because the only weakness of this deck is its defense. And like I said, even though you gotta wait 3 turns and you win, you got like low defense for those turns, and that's why Gorz is so good. And I would run him at 3, honestly, if I could, because if you draw him, it's like 1 free turn basically. Like they can't OTK you, and it's like I said, 3 turns and then you win. So if you drew 3 Gorz, that'd be amazing, because you, first of all, you could make all kinds of synchro plays and XYZ plays while you're surviving. So Gorz is just insane. He's a really good card. I wish I could run 3. And speaking of defense, Honest, like some people that I even consider to be good duelists are like, don't bother running Honest in Lightsworn. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, this is like a chaos deck. And I run Honest. Like, half of the monsters are dark in here. And Honest is still like the best, like honestly, best card in the game. Honest is insane. He creates like some lockdowns sometimes that you just cannot get past. Like even if you know they have Honest, it doesn't matter. Like you can't pop Honest out of the hand unless you're like playing Dark Worlds or something like that. And if you're playing Dark Worlds, you're gonna lose anyways. But these 2 cards, Stardust Spark Dragon. This isn't so great. I just pulled this from what's it called? Premium Gold yesterday, so I'm gonna test it out. I haven't tested it out yet, but this is technically defense. But yeah. Let's move on from Gorz. I think everybody knows why Gorz is a good card. And I kind of already talked about Honest already, so. Let's see. I still need a couple of cards from. I still need 3 Ebony Dragon. No, Ivory Dragon. Even though that's not what it's called. Oh, yeah. Like I said, BLS is like the most broken card in the game. I'm so happy that they limited this to 1 after like having it forbidden for so long, because this card is so good. This card steals games. This card can put 6,000 damage on board basically. Is what PLS does. And is that not enough? Is 6,000 damage not enough to get you enough advantage to just like OTK them and win the game? Run over like 2 of their monsters, run over Stardust and Scrap Dragon. Oh, they got a Beals or something like that. Oh, okay, he has an effect that he, you can banish 1 monster per turn. And, oh, they're gonna set down a face down, I don't know, like Raikou or Penguin Soldier or something that's their out to BLS. I can banish face downs once per turn, unlike Chaos Sorcerer. You got a Mirror Force in waiting. I think I'll just banish your monsters till I have so much advantage that it's impossible for you to win. But BLS is the reason that it's called a Chaos deck. Like, he's the boss monster of the Chaos cards or whatever. So BLS probably honestly better than Gore's better. He's the best card in the deck. So if you don't run him, you're insane. All right, moving on. Let's see. I actually don't have a lot of the best cards in the deck. I guess let's go over Eclipse Wyvern, I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go over Eclipse Wyvern and the Dragon Ruler engine. This is the one in the middle. I just pulled an Eclipse Wyvern yesterday from Premium Gold Series, so now I run 4 Eclipse Wyvern. No, I wouldn't even run 4 Eclipse Wyvern if I could. Honestly, I would just run, once the other Lightsworns come out, I'll only run 2. Because the deck has so many options, but Eclipse, I'm not sure if it's Wyvern or Wyvern, but get over it. But, this card searches out your Red Eyes Darkness Metal. This card searches out your, Relight Ray Diabolos. This card searches out your what's his name? What's that card's name? Oh yeah. Judgment Dragon, your win condition. Yeah, so basically this is a card that adds Judgment Dragon to your hand for absolutely free if you mill it. And by the way, this card is great for XYZs. Because it gets its effect no matter what. It just, when it hits the graveyard, you banish one of the dragons that you want. And then later you just add it to your hand. It's like no cost. Whether you XYZ. It's even like, it's a body for half an XYZ play and that if you draw it. Which normally, like drawing 1 Eclipse Wyvern is okay. I'd rather draw 1 max, probably not even draw it, because you can, there are better cards that you can draw, and this card is great in the graveyard, just hitting the deck to the graveyard. But Lumina can also pitch this, it gets its effect. And, oh, I forgot to mention. Blaster, Tidal, Tempest. Banish this card from the graveyard. Like, and these cards get milled to the graveyard. There's 3 of them. I've been considering even running Redox. Because that, I don't run Maxi, but maybe I could run Maxi if I had Redox. Like, it wouldn't be a complete waste to mill it or even have it. But, and it's one of those aspects where it's like -1 turn for them, because like if they special summon, like if they take the Maxi challenge against Lightsworn, you are not gonna, they're gonna kill you next turn. So, and it's that 3-turn thing again, so Maxi, I could see Maxi being of use in this deck if I had Redox. But these cards, you make Dracosack for free. Well, no, yeah, kind of basically for free. And you can pitch these cards with Lumina, and then Tempest can banish the Dracosack once it's dead to bring itself back again. You can even use Tidal to banish Blaster and Tempest. Add a Flamvel Guard to your hand, add a Debris Dragon to your hand. I don't run either of those, but you could do this. And OCG, they're at 2. You can add another Blaster, but whatever. Also, that can everybody knows about the elemental dragons. Okay, they know how OP they are, so I won't go on. We get it. All right, another thing that can banish these Eclipse Wyverns is your Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. This card and Ebony and Ivory are really good together. And that's so much food for your E-Dragons. Like, you pump out level 8 Synchros and level 7 XYZs with this deck all day long. Because you run the two unknown... Actually, you should consider running 3 unknown Synchron. Because Beals. Like, if you can make Beals twice, that's game sometimes. And, like, you're getting E-Dragons for free. Like, all day long. Like, Unknown Synchron is a free... no, not free. 1 card Beals. So, what was I looking for? Oh, yeah, Effect Veiler. Where you at, girl? I don't know where Effect Veiler ran off to. She was just here. Effect Veiler is another 1 level synchro. That's how I was gonna show you that. Unknown Synchron, also a dark food for all your chaos stuff, like Light Pulsar, BLS, etc. Another thing that can banish Eclipse Wyvern, Light Ray, Diabolos. Some people run 3 of this, some people run 1. It really depends on how many lights you have in your deck compared to darks. Like, I run so many darks that I run only 1 Diabolos. But honestly, run the 1, like, no matter what, like, run at least 1, I think. Like, it's level 7. You can, like, it's like almost like Yata-Garatsu. You can stop their draw forever, I guess, if they're stupid enough. Basically, it's not even, like, you can stop their draw. Either you stop their draw, or you stop them from setting their back row. Like, it's a painful choice, like, no matter way you look at it. Like, the only thing bad about Diabolos is that sometimes he can be dead in hand for, like, the first 2 turns. And like I said, the first 3 turns are, like, the only thing that matters. Like, just survive 3 turns and you're good. He's also level 7. He's light. He's a dragon, people. So, to be honest, I've only been running 1. But maybe I should bump it up back to 2. And if you're running Pure Lights 1, then do 3 no matter what. But Chaos is probably better. Next up, let's talk about Mini BLS. I already talked about Mini BLS in my other video. Plague Spreader plus Mini BLS equals Beals. I know I keep going on about Beals. Beals is a really strong play. But if you make twice, it's a win condition. Also, Beals and Judgment Dragon are the most insane tag team of all time. You summon Beals, you drop JD, guess what? Beals is not destroyed by JD's effect. So, you're fucked. Then you take 6,000 damage minimum. Like, if you can summon, I don't know, I guess, I was gonna say Jane, but he only gets 2100 when, he's attacking a monster. But, like, any other special summon, usually you drop 2 JD and appeals on them. And, that's a clear field, 9,000 damage, so that's game. And, normally you bait out their stuff a lot. Like, you, like, summon Diabolos, even though you don't need them. They'll be like, oh, Solemn the Diabolos, because they have to Solemn Diabolos. That's another good thing about him. That, especially if they only have 1 set, I mean, like, they know that they're gonna lose one of their back row, lose their next draw, unless it's, like, a really good card. But, most of the time when you can put back row safely to the top of the deck because they have to like set it. Like traps can't be activated obviously when like from the hand. You have to wait till the end of your turn, so it really slows them down. So Diabolos always baits out the back row because otherwise you're gonna lose it anyway. Then you summon Beals, then you summon JD, then you make any other special summon. Even mini BLS is 2300. You can, that'll be like, you only need 2000 more damage. This guy's over 2000, over 2000, over 9000. This is 1800. The other one is 1700. So it's a special summon that you can even summon one of those two dragons and Necro Gardener finish them off. Like, they're like, don't worry about finishing them off because what are they gonna do against a JD and a Beazle anyway? After they just probably lost most of their cards. So, I guess that brings us to Necro Gardener. To be honest, for a long time, I only ran Necro Gardener at 1 for some reason. Like, I started at 3, and then I was like, I hate getting this dead draw. But, Necro Gardener is so good. Like, you can use him and Plague to make Armides Keeper of Boundaries. Then they're both in the graveyard anyway. Cause they both get their effect off, and you get Armides. You like Necro Gardener, you always like what turn 1 if you have a crap hand, you summon. Well, I guess it's not that bad if you draw Lumina. No, but it is if you draw Lumina and that's it. And like Lumina cannot activate her effect until at least one Lightsworn is in the graveyard. So you Lumina, like she's your only monster. Well, I guess she couldn't be your only monster, but your only monster that you can normal summon.